Welcome to the Drooniverse!
And welcome one and welcome all to a very, very sticky evening here in the UK. It's insanely hot. Actually, it's not so bad now. It's cooling down, but it has been insanely hot, even up here in the far north of the back of beyond. So I hope you're all safely ensconced with something cold and nicely chilled. Because it's going to be warm for the rest of the day, so it's been bad. It's been bad. Right. Anyway, let's before we get into any of that nonsense, let's do the normal nonsense because yes, it's time to do the thing because the thing is the thing, and the thing must be done. How we do this evening, my lovelies? How are we? Wintermute GB is uncharacteristically once again in first place. What's going on there? Of course he is, but yes, it's just not right. It shouldn't be there. It's far too keen. Simon Army is next in the chat. Good to see you. Ugly Spirit is here in third place. Congratulations to all of you getting into the stream nice and early, making sure you get your favourite seats within vegetable chucking distance of the host, presumably. Team Pitman 42 is here as well. Solstice Project is here as ever with a very enthusiastic to do. Always good to see that. Top Shot is here as well. Good to see you too. Who else do we have in the chat? Right, we have Sleepy D Wagon Man who's woken up and is with us this evening. Good to see you. Alexander Corbin, good to see you with a very, very impressive collection of emojis there, so that's good to see. The Hawkers are here, fresh as ever and ready to invade Arrakis. The Landro is here, good to see you as well. Fantastic to see you as well. It's a first time chat from Commander Derek. 07 Commander, good to have you aboard. And who else do I have? Commander Dave Tinman is here with the enthusiastics in the bagpipes. Biff Boy 81 is likewise here with a rousing 07 Commander. Good to see you. Felix Lester is here as well. Another 07. Good to see that. I had it with a Cobra Mark III wireframe, of course, as it should be. Commander Tragic Blue 21 is here as well. Frank Miner 2949 is here too. The Arrakis is here very late to the chat, it has to be said, and almost worried that the invasion of the Harkonnens had once finally been successful. But no, they're here, everything is good, and they're fresh to invade and fend off the invasion of the Harkonnens as ever. Good. Alien Hunter _ PL is here as well. Oi! Wait to you. Good to see you as well. Fantastic to see you. Lots of Solstice Project doing to-dos. As ever, Commander Rob Sabotage is here sabotaging things. And we also have another first-time chat from Steninja. Steninga. One of those. Anyway, good to see you. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for you. Kazak is here with another hearty 07. Bonkrat is here with another hearty 07 as well. More to-dos. Got a bit carried away. Solstice Project, I feel. Good order, Og. Gonda to you. Good to see you as well. Mummy Buddy 1111111. I think I got that right. Good to see you as well. Fantastic. Raquel Incorporated 07 Commander. Good to see you as well. Steninja asks, wasn't that music in Elite 2? It was. Yes. It was the theme tune, or it is the theme tune from Frontier Elite 2. Remixed by me with permission of David Lowe, who's the original author. My version, obviously, including some slightly wacky special effects and the thing. What's it called? Oh, my brain. One of those ghastly musical instruments that I'm still trying to learn to play. Anyway, somebody in the chat will correct me. I don't know what it is. What is it? Is it? Got the name. Dear, it's definitely kilt wearing weather. Yes, it is. It's a bit mad. Yes, quite hot, says Alexander Corbin. So that's it's Scorchio indeed. It is indeed. Andy P783 is here as well. Good to see you. That rhymes, of course. Everyone must know that. Stephen Usher is here. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing on this extremely hot evening as well? Stephen Usher, one of my compadres of ancient computer tech. From over a decade now, I believe, my good sir. So it's good to have you on the chat as well. Fantastic to see you. Commander Derek is here as well. Good sir. Good. Yeah, kilts are very warm. They're quite snug. I've never worn a kilt. One of these days I will try. I won't film that. That'll be extremely scary and probably not appropriate for a younger audience. Slumpy73 is here as well. Good to see you. Good Oliver. Good brother as well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Who else we have? Anybody else who's I haven't mentioned so far as well? The theremin, there we go. Winter Bucci being what I was talking about. The theremin. It's yeah, it's a bizarre instrument, the theremin. Anyway, and Orkney Sean is here as well. Good to see you. So fantastic. We're all here. Good. Right, now we can get on with the with the craziness of what's up. It's time to waffle, my friends. It is. The worldwide waffle. Here we go. I lost the button. Drew Wager, I don't think your audience is young. No, alas, I fear that the demographics of my stream are possibly. I mean, what we're talking here is mature and sophisticated gentlemen in the main, I would say. Okay, sophisticated gentlemen then. Gentlemen, maybe just men. Something along those lines. Anyway, I think we all know where we're coming from. What was it? What was it from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? A little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men. There we go. There you feel better about yourself now, don't you? We're all certain advancing years. I am Gen X, and my generation just doesn't take anything too seriously. Because what's the point? Literally, what is the point? We've been through some stuff, haven't we, over the years? And there we go. The Dread Elder Dire Waffle. Yes. Commander Derek says 58 is the new young. Is it? Excellent. Okay, well, I've got that to look forward to. That's good. JY Gamer 555 is 62. If I'm indicative, certainly not. Distinguished. Well, see, distinguished is one of those words you've got to be a bit careful of, right? Because it's kind of thrown around as, yes, you're distinguished, which sounds like it might be a compliment, but actually, basically, it's some young person going, you're old. And what's concerning about getting to the age that I'm now at is, I look at other people my age and think, oh, well, they're old. I'm not. And then I look in the mirror and go, who's that guy? So I think you're as young as you feel. The problem with that is every so often you wake up in the morning and bits of you don't work. At least they don't work straight away. I've noticed. I still do some exercises in the morning. I do stretches and a little bit of weightlifting and stuff, which I'm told is good for me. I have no idea whether it actually is good for me, but I do it anyway because I do. But I do get out of bed in the morning sometimes and go, well, why is my shoulder not responding to commands from my brain? And it's probably because I've slept the wrong way around or something. But yes, it's like to send the odd reboot command to things in the first 30 seconds of waking up to say, guys, it's time to get on with things, right? Shoulder basically, I'm sorry, left shoulder.exe is not responding. It's like I've just sent an extra command. Dear. What's the point? Silver Fox or Badger, take your pick. Orkney Shaw is 66th and collecting his pension in October. Excellent. So that's good. So at least you get some money for being old. That guy in the mirror is a concern. It is. I mean, because I don't know about you guys, but I still feel like a teenager. I mean, I don't feel like a teenager in the sense that I want a teenager. That would be better. That would be very wrong indeed. But I kind of in some ways, despite the fact that I've been around for many years now, I don't feel like I've actually grown up at all. I'm still excited. The same things I was 30 years ago. I mean, oddly enough, playing Elite on the Acorn Archimedes on the Monday stream has been great fun, not because it's actually any good by any modern standards, because it's an appallingly brilliant version of Elite. It's really good on one hand, possibly frustrating on the other. But I was really excited to play it because, I remember that, and of course it's back in the early 90s or late 80s, and you're just kind of thinking, really. But I'm still excited because I would have been when I was that age, and I'm still excited now, so why not? Distinguished is better than extinguished. I think that's fair enough. Old enough to remember wireframe graphics being adequate, and actually wireframe graphics being cool, let's be honest. Wintermute says, at least I have a full head of hair. Yes, you lucky man. I no longer do. So hence the hat. Partly hence the hat. Partly because I like wearing hats. Wintermute says, get on with it. No, I mean, it's a ridiculously optimistic command. Because A, I'm going to ignore it, and B, even if I didn't ignore it, I'm probably incapable of complying. So, I mean, come on, man. You should know that. Remember ASCII graphics? Now, yeah, that was good. ASCII art and ASCII character graphics. I used to quite like that on VT220 terminals and all that kind of cobblers. Raxler has me. It does. Yeah, I've been gone. Freaky Deku says the problem is fulfilled that I actually am. Yeah, that's not bad. Andy P783 says do some daily weightlifting. It's called getting the belly moving. That's right. Yeah, there is a danger, of course, that if you put on too much weight, then as you're moving around, you're only on average moving in any particular direction. that can be slightly disconcerting. I'm we're leveling up. Right, when imagination was a graphics card, that's it. That's good. Growing up is feeling like a teenager is something in the news at the moment, and not so good. I think we'll skip on past that really quickly. Deep Hit Me, you're quite right. You have to become an adult, but damned if they can make it right. Yes, I mean you can grow old, right? But you don't have to grow up. I think that's fairly sensible. I mean, you've got to face the day with a song on your heart and a smile on your face, or something equally nauseous like that, right? Dear. And being childish, I think it's good for your mental health, right? I mean, that's why we play games, isn't it? To escape from the morbid turbidity of real life, which, let's face it, a lot of the time is pretty darn depressing. And we're not getting there because we're here for the escapism, because that's why we play computer games, right? So we can be different people in a different world, and obviously have waffles. Commander Derek has a body fit for the Olympics. Well, a shot put. What does my shirt say? It says, I am a writer. So my earphones are not long enough for me to stand up without ripping my earlobes out. Form an orderly queue behind the done site. Yeah, I am a writer, and I think at the bottom what does it say at the bottom? Because I can't read it upside down. Anything you say or do may be put in a story. I tend to wander around like that. So there we go. Yeah. I have the body of a god, shame it's Buddha. So there we go. Anyway, so yes, I masquerade as a writer on rare occasions. I try, and then 10 minutes later, when I got my breath back, I try again. Ah dear, yeah, the old ones are still the best. What's one of the things I miss actually about working in office with young people, which I haven't done for many years now because of what I do, is being able to reuse old jokes that they've never heard. You can come across as incredibly witty because all you're doing is parroting jokes of the 80s and the 90s, which they've never come across before because it's all old stuff. So quoting things from Blackadder and Red Dwarf and things, but the youngsters don't know anything about, makes you look like some sort of comedy god. It's worth a try, my friends. It's worth a try. If you're still in the vicinity of young people who do have a sense of humour, there are some out there who do have a sense of humour, who are blissfully unaware of some of the great comedy greats of yore. Then you could try that. But there we go. Right. Let's get on with it now. I think I've actually got to do some stuff in Elite Dangerous tonight. The old fetch the left-handed screwdriver, all those sort of things. Tartan paint pot, bucket of steam, left-handed spanner. It's okay as long as you remember the punchlines. Yes. That requires my short-term memory to be working. Dear. Right, well, let's get on with it, shall we? I know that this is unusual for my stream, but it's already quarter past, so we've had a bit of waffle. Probably saying is now for good for the follow there. Thank you very much as well. My office has a lot of youngsters, and I find myself as the politically incorrect old git now. we all have some sympathy for that, which is quite funny. First time chat from probably saying I love your work. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate the vote of confidence there. That's very inspiring. That's great. Lovely to hear from people who either read my books or just stumbled across my my rambling YouTube videos on various different things. Whereas Drew is just the old git. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? What can I say that Wintermute GB won't say for me? Am I going to join you in wiping out some pirates in Minerva? Well, I had a plan from a few weeks ago to try and up my engineering on my ship, didn't I? So I'm trying to. Given I'm the old man, I'm going to have to go back into the game and find out what the hell I was doing and to what ship because I can't remember. So let's go and do some stuff. Let's go and find out what on earth was going on and see how it goes. Right. So I'm going to have to go for the playthrough. Here we go. Right, there we go. Do. Is there some Galnet? I thought I looked at it earlier on and didn't see any Galnet. Is there a Galnet article? There's a power play one and some pirates doing some stuff. I assume that was the CG. No, so I don't. I'm not going to go for a power play standing. That's really dull. I mean, there's worse things that go for a power play standing, and that's picking the grammar holes out. It's just it's sort of power play. So I mean, what's the point? I could have. I mean, actually, I am going to pick some holes in the grammar on that. There's no full stops or semicolons at the end of the list, and that's wrong. just for completeness. Here we go. Look, I'm going to do it. Here we go. Look here. This is wrong. Okay. This is a list, right? There's a colon. That is correct, right? Under the word influence there, which you can't see because it's not highlighted on my screen. Okay, the colon there after the word influence on the second paragraph is correct. However, this list of things should have semicolons after them. So I'm not happy. Okay, bad frontier, bad grammar. Anyway, that's right. So there we go. Happy now? Off we go. Right. So right now I think I was my vague recollection of my stream a few weeks ago was that I wanted to improve the exploration capability of my exploration ship, which name the Dumorio, wasn't it? Now I don't think I'm in the right ship. This is the Corsair, and I think I'm supposed to be prepping my Mandalay for exploration. So yeah, this is definitely my Corsair, which is a funky ship, I have to say. I do quite like the Corsair with its spinning nacelles and stuff. Ricky Incorporated says, I am very curious of your current take on today's version and direction of the being a veteran player. Is that like a distinguished player? Who's been around for long? Well, that's a very good question, actually. Probably deserves a serious answer. Here's a serious answer, which you're not going to get. No, that would be unfair. Since you've asked very politely. So yeah, well, I mean, Elite has been through its ups and downs over the years, right? So I think it right now, Elite is on the up again, right? Because we're getting an awful lot of input into the game right now. And there are new ships. There's the Panther Clipper. There's this ship, the Corsair. There's the Mandalay we've just had. There's the Cobra Mark V. There's the Type 11 that's coming. It's good that some new energy is being injected into the game. I think the colonization add-in is the other thing. We've got Vanguards coming next week, which is going to do something with sort of the multiplayer aspect of the game. So they've definitely revitalized things. The only thing I would say about Frontier is that they're not very consistent. They can get into gluts every so often, or ruts, I suppose, rather than gluts. Rut is the kind of opposite of glut, isn't it? Where suddenly nothing will happen for a very long time, and there's no explanation of anything, and it's very inconsistent. The pacing of work on Elite Dangerous isn't very good. Vanguards is a special birthday present. Is it coming out on my birthday? Excellent. They obviously did that deliberately. So I'd say right now, Elite is kind of on Elite Dangerous, shall I say, is on the up. It's got a bit of oomph behind it. It's got a bit of dev behind it, not just story. Now, what it would be really nice if Frontier could do development work and story work on Elite Dangerous at the same time. I think That would be my ideal situation. But there are some quite nice fan capabilities. We've got things like the Distant World 3 expedition coming next year. So there's some fan stuff beginning to consolidate around the game as well. There is a new bunch of YouTubers who've sort of taken over from people like me and the old school YouTubers who are still keeping good content going, and highly professional presentations of stuff that you can go and enjoy on YouTube as well. So I think the community is pretty healthy. People are still playing the game, doing stuff. I don't think it's got the same vibe as it perhaps had in the old days, but things change, right? Things change over time. So so I think it's evolved for sure. I don't think necessarily the same people are around, and I don't think the vibes necessarily the same. But it's different rather than better or worse. I think right now it's optimistic, which is good. So I think that's quite good. But they're a bit inconsistent. Most of the, like you say, that's a very good observation, Alien Hunter, actually, is most of the new content has been space-based, which I don't mind because I like space, right? The space game. But they haven't really gone back to Odyssey and added more kind of on-footy stuff, have they? There were some Thargoid things to wander around, but we never saw a Thargoid on foot, despite there being some leaked images of them and things like that. Yeah, so there wasn't any kind of Thargoid first-person shooting content, which I wouldn't have liked, but I can imagine that some people would have done. So it still feels a little bit unbalanced. They could go back and do Dev in other places, but given that we were like years and years and years and years without new spaceships in a spaceship game, I'm fairly happy with them of spending some time on spaceships. So it's good, and I like having new spaceships. So hopefully that answers the question reasonably well. Right, so let's. I assume I'm not. Where am I? I'm at Pangalactic Mining Corp. What am I doing? Where am I? Okay. What was I doing last week? Oh, Starlight. Oh, it was something to do with the CG. Presumably that's finished now, so that's something. Do I have to go somewhere and collect my monies for that? Or have I been credited it? It looks like I might have just had it. Oh no, that one's still running. Oh, it's still got another week to go. Okay, well, fair enough. Presumably I'm in the top 100%, so that's I can't be bothered any more than that. Okay, so that's good. Oh, so it's still a week to go, right? So another defend the station to do some stuff. So what's that one's all about? So I could get 60 million credits just by what? Shooting some stuff. Well, that sounds like it might be fun. Should we go shoot some stuff? Yeah. Because it's a space combat simulator. Okay, let's try this one. So I won't get very far on this, but 100%. Shoot a pirate and get 2 railguns. I mean, okay, let's do a bit of pew pew. It's a space game, right? Let's do a bit of pew pew. And since I'm here, it would be rude not to, right? What have I got to do? It's, as Drew says, clicking on the thing and signing up without reading the small print. Right, so engage pirates in the Minerva system and redeem bounty vouchers at Starlight Station. So we're at Starlight Station. So there's some text there and some stuff. So we got to basically kill some stuff. So if anybody fancies joining me for that, we are of course in the Drew Wager private group, and looks like I've already got a wing assembling. So there we go. Commander Bintermute has joined me. That's excellent. So and I'm in a combat ship. This is not an engineered combat ship, it has to be said. But so what I'm doing, once I've killed a few pirates, we'll go off and do some engineering. That could be the second part of the stream, because I mean it's super exciting to grind for materials, right? Isn't it? 07 Commander from Frankverse in game. Mr. Chekhov. Right, presumably there's a POI out there with combat zone. Is there anywhere particular we have to go? Well, is this the grind is for? Now that's a very good question, isn't it? The thing, I mean, I've done some you'll probably find it on my YouTube channel. I've done some in-depth playthroughs of the original Elite, Frontier Elite 2, and Frontier First Encounters, and the original Elite is very grindy to start with. It takes you a long time to make your first wodge of money because you don't have enough cash to buy anything worthwhile to sell. Look at the number of fleet carriers that are in here. That's just that's just mad. So where am I going? Is it Squirrel's Nuts? Excellent, that's a good name for it. There are just so many fleet carriers. There's a conflict zone here, high intensity. Should we go there? I should use the filter, you're quite right. I even know how to do that. Let's turn off. Nope. I've turned on fleet carriers, nothing else. I don't need asteroids, settlement stations. There we go. Better. Right, where should we go? Need a resource extraction site with pirates. Okay, so let's go for what? Hazardous one? Because, yeah, let's live dangerous. I could, yeah. Let's do that. It's Elite Dangerous after all, isn't it? Definitely the Hazard. So yeah, so the original Elite is very grindy at the start, but once you get a certain amount of cash, or you get something like a save game editor that nefarious streamers use, right, to cheat and get ahead in the game. I mean, you'd never find someone reputable like me doing anything like that, of course. Not over the course of 2 streams, anyway. So once you get past that, Elite becomes a little bit more fun to play. Well, allegedly it becomes a little bit more fun to play. In certain versions of Elite, I think it does. The version of Elite that we're playing at the moment hasn't yet. But Frontier Elite 2 and Frontier First Encounters are very similar. You start off with such a small amount of money, and it takes a long time to make any money. At least in Frontier Elite 2 and Frontier First Encounters, you can sell your starter ship and buy a cheaper one, which does free up some cash, which gives you a little heads up, which allows you to progress a bit quicker if you're smart. But it's so much easier to start in Elite Dangerous than it is in the other games, in terms of just making some cash and getting somewhere and exploring different aspects of the game. But Elite Dangerous is so massively bigger than the other games. It's hard to... Oh, I've got a scope. Why am I using it? It's hard to compare the grind. I think the problem is the thing that winds me up about Elite Dangerous is that the various components, which are utter commodities in any sensible way, you have to go through different game loops to get them. So if you want some wiring, for example, you can only get it in certain places. You can't buy it for love nor money from anywhere else. Some odd choices like that because the game's been retrofitted with various different things. So there's effectively a number of different currencies in Elite Dangerous, which is a bit irritating. So you've got cash, obviously. You've got reputation. You've got materials that you can only get in space. And then you've got materials that you can only get on the ground. And... yeah. It's like, really? At least you can swap them about a bit now. There's a sort of exchange bartering mechanism, isn't there? So that's the thing. But so yeah. So I'm not sure. We're going to this hazardous resource extraction site here. I'm going to kill a few pirates in the Fiery Phoenix. Oh, and ARCs, of course. Yeah, ARCs is yet another one, isn't it? So not only are there in-game currencies, there's outer-game currencies that turn into in-game currencies, so you can buy in-game things. And each... I mean, I suppose it's hard because, I mean, what do you replace the grind with? If you want to, we complain about the grind a lot, right? But is the grind just the game? Is it not just the game? I mean, I know you can balance progression and stuff, but the problem with balancing progression, as always, is you've got people like me who are casual players who only play a few hours a week tops, and then you got other people, sad, lonely people. not just people who like computer games a lot, right? Who can play for hours and hours and hours and hours a week, several, and rack up incredible totals of playtime. And they're playing the same game, right? Given that, I think it's tricky to balance any of these games where you've got to provide some level of progression for people who are playing a lot and people who aren't. There's Chaos, the Imperial Clipper. That sounds like a dodgy ship to me. Let's see how well the Corsair stacks up against the Clipper. Oh, he's elite. Are you here, GB? I might need your help on this one. I haven't got a scan on this. Oh, he's scanning me. There we are. Right, I'm going to manoeuvre behind him because there's no point being in front of him when we start opening fire. He being a stupid idiot, he's going to allow me to do that despite the fact I've got my weapons out and I'm about to blast him. Now, he's only got 2 main guns, hasn't he? I think he missed my shield there. Yeah, the shields on my Corsair, because they're not engineered, are a bit weak. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. Dropped off my scanner for a moment, doesn't he? Ah, they give me shields. Ouch. Oops. Yeah, see, I haven't really kitted this ship out for this. Ooh, that's not good. I think I might have to bug out this. Yep, I could have done with some engineering, really, shouldn't I? No, I haven't got any shield cells. Yeah. I'll come back and get him in a minute. Let me get my shields back up. Did you get him? I think I might take on something a little bit. The trouble is I'm used to flying in my what ship do I normally use for? Oh, my Python Mark II, which of course is engineered for this job. I should have really brought that ship along, but I haven't. There he is. He's still alive. Let's go get him. Doesn't like me very much, this guy, is he? He said. Whoa. He's taking too many hits. He's on the run. Boom, we got him. Yes. Dunk. There we are, got some money. Is that enough? Yeah, if you want another invite, right? Let's take on something that's more my sort of size, given I've got a badly prepped ship. What else have we got out here? There's an asp. No, that's a viper. Vipermon. 2 or 3. Jiz Williams. He's wanted. Let's go get him. Jiz Williams is the man to kill. Does show you how steep the aggression curve on these things is, because I haven't really engineered my the reverse button. I haven't really done any engineering on this ship yet, and it shows, doesn't it? It's so weak even against the NPCs. But you can't really go into combat, to be fair, without doing some level of engineering now. Otherwise, yeah, bad stuff happens, as you saw. And I know this is a hazardous, hazardous resource extraction site, but even so, and that's an anaconda. I don't think we want to take that on. It sounds like somebody else is already taking it on. I suppose we could go get it. Hardest even, yes. Who we take on an anaconda? Was that a stupid thing to do? There are 3 of us. Are we going to go for it? Do it. Yeah, let's take on. Somebody else is attacking it anyway. I want to hit it. Let's have at it. Yeah. Ramming speed? No, that's a bad idea, ramming speed. Doesn't help. Ramming your friends. You have to say the graphics are somewhat better on modern games, aren't they, than the old ones? I suppose your imagination just filled in the gaps in the old games. There we go, got a million for doing that. Nice work, everybody. I don't think I did a great deal for that one, but what else we got? Someone else is being shot at there. Who's that? He's clean, so the other guy must be a bad guy, right? Who's this guy? Why can't I get a target lock on him? Here he is. Yeah, okay, there was another anaconda. Who's already wounded. Let's get him. Oh, someone's got an interesting laser beam. Nice. What is that beam weapon? What ship is that? Is that it? That's one of us. Who's that? Commander Alien Hunter. What are you packing on that ship, Commander Alien Hunter? That looks insane. What graphics card am I doing? I have this is quite a high spec. This is a 4090 something, I think. So it's quite a high end graphics card I've got here. Or is it a 4080? I can't remember. Something like that. Might be a 4080. I can't remember. Yeah, that's a very cool weapon. All the beam lasers. It's a 4090, was it? I can't remember. It was such a long time ago. Right, another ass to die. Yeah, I like green lasers. I have to say, green lasers feel right on this ship. We also got some multi-cannons because I like multi-cannons. Boom, there we go. Nice. We're doing a good job here. It is, that looks very cool actually, Alien Hunter. I like that. That looked pretty awesome. Something else shooting there. The Ossuary. The Mob of Minerva. Federal gunship. I don't like federal gunships. Let's go to them as well. Those explosions do look pretty insane. Hey, that looked good, didn't it? I'm going to have to be a bit careful because I picked up a lot of hull damage. But anyway, let's fly back towards the rest of the pack. Else is gone. They're a bit mindless, these zones, aren't they? Because it's like, why is everybody just concentrated on being around here? Right, this could be a little bit interesting. We've got a set of 3, so I'm going to take on the Imperial Courier, see how that goes. If the rest of you can jump in as well, that would be fun. Where's he gone? There he is. Because we'll have 3 of them. 3 of us. Or 4 of us. Yeah, see, they all decided to shoot me, which is nice. It's not going to last very long under that sort of combined fire, apparently. But they are taking my shields down. Oh, really fast. I better get out of here. Under the hills again. That's not good. I've lost my shields. Ooh, missiles as well. Nice. Uh-oh, I just lost my canopy. That's bad. I haven't done that for a few years. Okay, that was a bad idea. I think I better get back to the space station. For some much needed repairs and oxygen. I don't know, I think oh, of course now I can't see anything. And that's a nice effect. So let's super cruise with no canopy. What could possibly go wrong? I don't even know where. There it is up there. I've got so little of the canopy left. I can't see anything. What does night vision? Oh, well, that's a nice trick. Oh no, I still can't see that. Still can't see that. So I'm gonna have to eyeball this in using the other controls. So yeah, so I think I'm good. I'll be alright. I'll be fine. Don't worry, it'll be okay. I can dock on this version of Elite. Night vision doesn't work anymore. They fixed the bug. Those rotters over at Frontier are spoiling our fun, fixing bugs. There's the space station. Cabin pressure alert. I've got a tiny little bit of glass at the bottom there that's still working. That's quite a nice effect that the HUD's rendered on the thing like that. I think that's quite clever. I don't know quite know how that works in game lore, but it's quite a nice effect. This is an emergency docking. If you look to your left and to your right and to the front of the ship, you'll find there is no glass. However, the exits are clearly marked. Done that. We need an emergency landing with some oxygen, please. See, look how easy it is to dock on Elite Dangerous by comparison. Oh, there's the pad. Hey, I've got oxygen again. How does that work? You have no canopy, but the Remlock suit keeps you alive. Why doesn't FSD Juno and travel kill you in with the ship shields? All good questions. I remember, yeah, I see, I didn't, yeah, it's interesting because the ship shields can block all sorts of stuff. They can stop lasers and they can stop physical things from hitting you or even impacting you in the slightest way, right? But, and we know that force fields in Elite Dangerous can keep atmosphere in because there's atmosphere in this bit of the space station and there's an open end to the space station just behind us. It is, yeah, slightly problematic. What can force fields do in Elite Dangerous? It's not entirely clear because they don't stop atmosphere from leaking out of your ship, but they do stop atmosphere from leaking out of the space station entrance here because this area here is full of this area here is full of air, right? And yet there's a force field up there because I can see space through it, which we can fly through, and that is holding back air pressure. I mean, there are 3 levels of shields in there. At least that's what the glowy blue lights seem to suggest. Yeah, exactly what shields can and can't do in Elite Dangerous, it's not entirely clear. Right. Well, we'll do a little bit more zapping because yeah, I quite enjoyed that. We'll go for a high one this time. Don't know if that's any different. Freaky dooky doo, gotta go. My internet is crapping out, but thanks for the memory. No problem at all. Why did it remask lock? That's a bit weird. Yellow Wiggler, hello sir, good to see you. Semi-permeable force fields, yeah. Thought that does streaming Wago exist without his hat? No, indeed. I am, in fact, just a hologrammatic projection created by the hat. The hat is actually the corporal, the sentient identity that's actually in charge of the stream. I'm just a projection. In fact, the way you all see me is the way you most desire to see me. The hat is reading your minds and then producing the most pleasant image it can come up with in your mind to represent your streamer for this evening. Oh, I do need to have my bounty in. Yes, I do. Okay, well, let's kill a few more things and then we'll go off and do some engineering. There we go. I'm getting some money. Well, Sean, that's quite a good point because why does the cockpit have glass at all? Because in the original Elite lore, they didn't actually have cockpits. They just literally had a screen. So I do remember discussing this with Michael Brooks, and he basically said because they're cooler, basically. So it's one of those gameplay override lore decisions, I think. Yeah, that's right. I don't get a bit like they just plug the hand into a USB charger. That's exactly what happened. um, so yeah, the window cleaner lobby is very strong. So yeah, so no, in the original games they didn't have cockpit glass. They just had a screen which you were looking out of. But yeah, I suppose aesthetically, it's nice to have a cockpit, right? Does give you other problems, of course, like why is the cockpit made of glass that can break at certain damage levels, but is otherwise insanely strong? Why does it always break in the same way? Screens do make more sense from a kind of lore perspective. And you can integrate screens quite well. I mean, I'm thinking of things like Star Trek and stuff, you know, that you can have spaceships with very, very big screens, right? So that you can see out. And the fact that, to be honest, I mean, there's something weird going on with the cockpit glass. Because I'm just going to shut there, which is why we talk about this from a lore perspective, right? Because if I was really in the vicinity of this planet, the way we are here with the bright rings and the bright light, we would not be able to see the Milky Way in the background, right? Or the stars. It would. So if we had proper high dynamic range, or not high dynamic range, because that's not the way our eyes work, we wouldn't be able to see anything but the planet. So I don't know, does Elite Dangerous have a realistic mode for its graphics in terms of actual exposures and stuff? I don't know if it does. I know things like Space Engine do. And it's non-intuitive because it's not what you expect to see in space, because we've been conditioned for so long by bad space movies to be expect to see stars in space where there's other brightly lit objects around, but you wouldn't be able to see a thing. So the magic cockpit glass does magic stuff, right? Not only is it transparent, it also allows you to see things that you otherwise couldn't see, and it's insanely strong, except for in certain conditions where it's incredibly weak. And it always breaks in the same way. So yeah. Yes, there's special space magic sensors embedded in everything that change what you actually see in your through the cockpit. I don't know. Some things just have to happen for games, right? And space needs to look like space, even though it doesn't look like space. Does that make sense? There's some ships behind me, off to the side. What have we got here? Anything interesting going on? Cobra Mark III. Ah, he's dead. Although there are three of them, he says, having just decided to take them on. See, this ship is just, it's currently like a bit of a chocolate teapot, really. These are only Cobra Mark IIIs, and yet my ship is still barely a match for them. Yeah, I like seeing it. That's a Viper, isn't it? Was that a Viper Mark IV? Dump. Yeah, I need to do some serious engineering on the ship. But this is not the ship I was planning to do my engineering on, if that makes sense. Oh, don't back, no. drunk somebody there. I'm going to die being killed by Cobra Mark 3. That would just be wrong. Oh, it's still blind. Here's my shields. I wonder if I've got some. I can't remember what shields I've put on this ship. I've gone straight into combat without even knowing what my ship's capable of. But anyway. So right now, this Corsair is a bit of a chocolate teapot. It has to be said. I'll get rid of these and then we'll bug out and go back to the space station. It's a Cobra Mark 3. Sorry, just a clip, but such a light. Good night. There we go. Right, that'll do. Let's not push fate anymore. So there we go. We've done a bit of actual pew-pewing today. How about that? Just a minute. There we go. Yeah. So I mean, that's true. Actually, Flight Simulator was just a flat panel, wasn't it? I suppose we get the option because we've now got so much more sophisticated. What's that? Still hooked onto. Why didn't that lock onto? It's supposed to lock onto. We've got so much more capability in the PCs. We haven't got to worry really anymore. I mean, I can't remember the last time. Oops. Oh. I mean, I know I've got the 4090 here, and that's like a bit excessive, but I literally, even when I didn't have a 4090, I haven't really played a game in many years that basically I've gone, ooh, I need to upgrade my PC. I just haven't, right? And I started out when what was my first graphics card in the modern era? I think I built a PC for Elite Dangerous back in 2013 or 2014, which I think my youngest son's girlfriend has got now, and I think that was an early i7 machine with a GTX 760 from memory, something like that, and that ran Elite Dangerous no problem at all. It wasn't quite up to the job of, well, nothing was quite up to the job of Odyssey, was it? At least early on. I think after that I had after the 760, I think I had a 1070 from memory. And I think I had that 1070 up until I decided to get this 4090 and I bought this one through work, so it was tax deductible, which was quite useful. Which means you could spend more money on things without paying tax on it, which is really nice. So yeah, I think I went from a 760 GTX to a 1070 GTX and then a 4090 RTX, but the 1070 was more than up to the job of playing Odyssey once Odyssey was fixed, right? It wasn't when Odyssey wasn't fixed, and it took Frontier an awfully long time to fix Odyssey, didn't it? But you know, that's kind of ancient history again now. So yeah, so I don't think I'm not sure Elite Dangerous is now. Is it really pushing the edge of any graphics cards that are kind of modern and common now? Does anybody have performance issues playing Elite Dangerous now? I mean, it's a 10 plus year old game, isn't it? So you wouldn't expect it to be state of the art. And I know it's had its graphics stuff rewritten for Odyssey, obviously. I don't know. You tell me. Ah, look, landing pad 7. We always like that one. 07, Commander.
1,000 meters from touchdown.
Landing gear deployed.
There we go. Right. Okay, let's hand off bounties. Bounties in.
Touchdown confirmed.
Do you play anything that takes advantage of your 4090? You know, ray trace. I must admit, I don't think I do. I bought it to future-proof it, future-proof the machine more than anything else. So no, I don't think I've actually got any ray tracing games. Yeah. So I think I really ought to have a look at some. But I must admit, I'm not. I mean, I'm much more. I like to have some headroom on my PC, so I don't. I don't run out or anything. But no, I don't think I've really properly taken advantage of the 4090 yet. Right, what do I do here? I need to hand in the bounty vouchers. That's the contacts, isn't it? Where's the contacts? There we are. Is it combat bombs? No. Administrative combat. There we go. 3 million. Okay, so that wasn't bad. 3 million for that, and then presumably I've now got enough contributions in here to. Oh, hang on, no, insufficient contributions. What have I got to do then? I haven't earned any credits. Why haven't I earned any credits? Do I have to do something else? I don't have any combat bonds. Oh, it does take a bit to update, does it? Oh, okay. I thought it was. No, okay. That's a bit rubbish, isn't it? What kind of systems are they using? So how do I? But you can't. There's nothing to hand in on this user interface. Should see them. Shall I log out and log back in? Admin bounties. Where's that then? Admin. In contacts, right? Nope. In contacts. Administrative contact. That's where I went to. Oh, I have to. Oh, there we go. I've got to do it twice. So what? You get paid? You get paid twice, then, do you?
Incoming message.
Cool. Okay. So I should be. There we go. I've earned 3 million credits. So that puts me in the top 100%. Yay! Excellent. There we go. Fantastic. Well, I've done it. Okay. Am I killing the right pirates? I'm just killing anybody who moves. You know me. Did 6 hand in the bounties? 6. Yeah. So I kind of feel like I got paid twice for that. Not that I'm complaining, but anyway, there we go. So yeah, well, there we go. I've done some contributions. Look at the amount of money that's. It's like 395 billion credits. And how much is a credit worth, right? I mean, this is just the law, because I know credits don't make sense anymore. They never really did, right? But yeah, I'm just curious to try and work out how much money that is. I mean, I know trying to compare money in Elite Dangerous with the real world is pretty good. I mean, but can we find something that's vaguely said? I mean, here we are. Look, bio waste, a ton of poop, right? A ton of bio waste costs 77 credits, and a ton of scrap. I presume that's a ton. Is it a ton? It's just one. Actually, it's not. It doesn't say 1 ton anymore. It just says 1 unit, doesn't it? It doesn't say. Oh, it just says per unit. That's interesting. So we don't know. It used to be tons. Yeah. But let's. I mean, 1 ton of scrap. Let's say 1. To presume it's. I don't know. Does it say? And that's potentially quite a high price. Galactic average is 80 credits for a ton. I don't know what could we compare some of this stuff with. Hydrogen, a ton of hydrogen costs 119 credit. There's nothing here that we can buy in the real world. There's basic medicines, maybe, but even that, a thousand years. Tons is so 1980s, is it? Well, so let's just try a ton of scrap. How much does a ton of scrap metal go for? Scrap. How much? How much would it cost to buy a ton of scrap? Let's say a unit is a ton scrap metal. Should ask ChatGPT, shouldn't I? Right, okay, so the cost to purchase a ton of scrap metal, this is the AI overview from Google, varies significantly based on the type of metal, but generally ranges from 80 quid to 4,500 per ton. Okay, so let's go with the, for example, heavy iron might be around 100 to 160, but more copper. Let's go for, I don't know, 200 pounds for a ton of scrap, right? So that means basically, oddly enough, it's about 1 credit is £1. Does that make sense based on that one? So hydrogen fuel is surprisingly expensive at £100 a ton, and agronomic treatment, consumer technology is very expensive. I don't know if it makes any sense, but that basically means that if it is about £1 per credit, metric ton presumably, then I just got awarded £1 million for cleaning that anaconda, so that's fun. So far 395 billion credits has been earned by commanders killing things. So yeah, it's a metric barrel. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. But there we go. Anyway, right. Let's now. What was I was planning to do some engineering. Now I think my plan was to engineer my we were doing something Marco Quent, weren't we, from memory? But I've got a feeling my other ship is at Sinatra Desra, so we're going to have to go back over there, which hopefully isn't too far away. How many jumps is that? 5 jumps in this not particularly good Corsair. Okay, well, let's head over to Sinatra Desra and go and get my Mandalay and see what we need to do to it. Because you guys had a plan for me. I was off to Marco Quent to do something, but I can't remember what it was. Frank Miner 2949. If you've got money, you make money. Folks who don't own spaceships don't have it, so is it? Yeah, so I need to have a plan. Really? I've spent the last 10 years playing this game without a plan. We were unlocking power plant mods, as I remember. That sounds familiar. Yes. I don't know. How do you weigh a ton of hydrogen? Where's the punchline? Yeah. To be honest, if you make money, if you've got money, you make money, don't you? I mean, it's the same. It's the same in the real world, right? I mean, if you've got a certain amount of cash, you never. This is the thing. I mean, I get a bit frustrated. I mean, I'm not a rabid socialist, right, or a communist. But I'm not a dyed-in-the-wool capitalist either, because I think, once you get beyond a certain amount of money, right, you literally don't need to do anything. Because, I mean, if I had, I've earned at times a reasonable wage in the UK, but let's take a half decent salary. Let's assume that you've paid off your house and you haven't got to worry about rent and things like that. You've got a house, somewhere to live. How much money do you realistically need to have a perfectly decent quality of life? I'm not talking excessive, right? I'm talking nice, pleasant. You haven't really got to worry about money unless you're stupid, right? Okay, and that to me would be having sort of, I don't know, maybe 50,000-60,000 a year to just live on, given to me, without me having to lift a finger, right? And so I can pay my bills, I can buy my food and everything else. Now, how much money do you think you need to get £50,000? You don't need that much, right? I mean, it's still numbers, right? You need. It depends a bit on your taste in toys, but yeah, okay. Yeah, but I'm not talking about yachts in the Mediterranean, right? I'm just talking about an average, sensible, normal kind of vaguely like lifestyle, right? With a few luxuries thrown in, and you only need, a few £1,000,000 or whatever your currency is to earn that sort of income just in interest, right? You just literally stick it in the bank, and that's the worst thing you probably could do with it because you should be investing it, etc., etc. Let's keep the math simple, right? You only need a couple of £1,000,000 to get £50,000 of interest a year, literally just by sticking it in the bank. So the vast majority of us, if would probably be fairly happy if we could amass £2,000,000 and then go, oh, I'll just live off the interest, thanks. I don't need to work anymore. Now, the trick is, who's going to actually do some real work? But this is where the whole thing about the filthy rich really kind of gets because again, you get beyond a certain amount of money, you don't actually need any more money, do you? And there's so many people who are living way, way below that level. It clearly isn't fair, right? That's the bit. So I feel there should be an upper limit to the amount of money you're allowed to have, and I think that should be about £1,billion. I mean, you might need to adjust it for inflation. So realistically, you don't need more than a couple of million, and you kind of you've got as much of an easy life as you like, right? You don't have to struggle anymore. If you want more than that, then fair enough. If you want to go crazy and you want to get more millions, if you want 50 million, 100 million, you go knock your boots out. But there should be an upper limit. I think it should be about £1 billion, right? So if you get to £1 billion, I think what should happen is basically any money above that should be confiscated and given to people who haven't got near the 2 million mark yet, right? And you should get a nice little plaque, basically saying, "I won capitalism." And you should be able to put that on your shelf. I won. Yep, that's it. Yeah, I won at the game of life. Right? I got to top. It's 1 billion. And a decal, yeah, and a little gold star that you can wear. Everyone knows you hit the billion mark, and that should be it. Okay, any money you earn above $1 billion is confiscated immediately and given to other people, and then. and then you've still got sort of capitalism, but you've I leveled up, and you've sort of got another very, very taxable income for the governments to do stuff with. Now I'm sure there's probably some practical problems with my Drew's modified capitalism, or the DMC as I like to call it. But maybe it's got some merit. It's a good idea, isn't it, everybody? If there are any economists in the chat who can think of reasons why that wouldn't work, I'm very keen to hear it. How many books do you need to sell to get there? A lot of books. So if you'd like to keep buying books, that would be very good. I'm, alas, nowhere near even the lowest levels of that echelon. I certainly haven't got £2 million in the bank. I wish I did. But I can't complain. I'm in a rich tapestry of a ledger of life. I'm a happy man, so I can't complain. I don't have £2 million in the bank, alas. I like so Mark Thomas's idea. That idea about top salary should be limited to multiples of the lowest wages of the company. That would sort of enforce the right behaviour as well. There's lots of little things you could do. I mean, for example, cars is another one, right? Which is a little bit of a bugbear of mine. We've legislated for all sorts of weird and wonderful things, but we could legislate for making cars lighter weight and fuel efficient. Right? Instead of what we've currently got is really everybody is making bigger and bigger, heavier cars, full of gadgets and stuff, which cost a fortune to run, and because they're heavy and big, they wear out the roads faster. So the roads wear out quicker. So we could legislate to push things in the right direction. But hey, right, Jameson Memorial is there. Let's head in that direction. As an American, I can confirm that's true. So yeah, batteries. Yeah, see, I haven't got an electric car yet. I haven't never even driven an electric car. I have been in one. and you know I'm a bit of a petrol head. So, but I'm not a die in the wool petrol head in the sense of I hate EVs. I just haven't got one yet. I've got no reason to get one yet because my current cars are so old and therefore so cheap, relatively in terms of outlay, that I'd have to spend a bunch of capital money to get myself an EV, which doesn't make any financial sense right now. And I haven't got a mechanism to charge at home at the moment. Although I could do, but that requires me to invest a bunch of money again. So, and yeah, if I invest a bunch of money, that money isn't making me any interest or any growth. So, financially, I'm not suffering from not having an electric car right now. Now there is a bit of me that's going, shouldn't I be saving the planet? And I tend to agree. I probably should be thinking about that, but it's also got to make financial sense at the same time. So, and that's kind of where it all goes wrong. Do your cars use E10? Well, one of them's a diesel, so no. My Audi TT seems more than happy on E10. Doesn't seem to have any problems with it. The Mazda and the Golf run on super unleaded, so I do have to shop around a little bit to get the right fuel. That's mostly because they're old, and they need the higher octane fuel to work properly. But I don't drive them very much, so they're not like daily drives or anything. Most of the time, I'm still using the diesel, which is again probably not the best car for the environment. But when it does 50 miles per gallon, no matter how much you press the right foot, you can't really argue with that. Am I thinking of buying a farm and opening a country pub? I'm not at the moment. No. Well, technically, I've got a small farm. It's not really a farm. It's a croft. And where I live is a little remote. So yeah. So it is. It's a consideration to fit the vehicle you need. My favourite is still a Mark II GTI. Yes, yeah, that is a cool car. Mine is currently in bits, alas, because I'm sort of rebuilding it, but I will get it up and running for next year, he says optimistically. Yeah, I have a small holding. Anybody who's met me will know that. Right, here we are at Sinatra Desert. So we're going to put the Corsair. Oh, landing gear is good. No visual on landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
There we go. What is it holding? At the moment, quite a lot of vegetables. My wife's been very successful in growing stuff. Right, good old Jameson Memorial. Right, where do I go? Shipyard. Right, hopefully my ship is here. When I come back from my holes, we'll have to have a look at Vanguard because, of course, we should try it out. Given it's a new feature, we should try that, and we can all Vanguard-y things. Right, so. Recall Incorporated. So thoughts on the validity of the dark wheel in Sinatra Desert? Well, that's an interesting thing. Let's have a quick look at that because we can see them in the mission board, of course. So over here, let's have a look. So the dark wheel here is this the official dark wheel or is it not, or is it just a squadron moving in? Well, okay. So in the law. The dark wheel is obviously a very mysterious organisation. It's been around for a very, very long time. Now, the way Michael Brooks explained it to me is that there are many wheels. Okay, they all are aspects of the dark wheel, but you've got to imagine them more like a series of cogs that intermesh. So there are wheels upon wheels which rotate and connect with each other. So the idea being that you sort of progress, at least the idea that Michael Brooks had, is that you sort of progress up the dark wheel So this, if you like, is one of the outermost cogs. It's kind of like the obvious face of the dark wheel. And the idea that Michael Brooks had is if you gained notoriety or respect within the outside circles of the dark wheel, you were slowly invited into the inner circles of the dark wheel. That was how he envisioned it working. Now, after he left Elite Dangerous and the things with the codex being updated with information about the dark wheel and the other bits of stuff that were associated with it, it seems to have languished. So I don't think it's connected to anything particular, which is a bit of a shame. So I haven't seen anything that's really advanced the tale of the dark wheel, other than the fact it's a faction here at Shinatra, which obviously expanded out beyond that. Sounds like the civil servants. So that's how Mike Brooks envisioned it working. If you spend a lot of time ranking up, I mean, I'm friendly with them, and I've not been offered anything different other than the normal commissions that you would expect to get anywhere else. So I don't think they've implemented that storiness into it, which is a shame, because of course you've got the Dark Wheel and you've got Raxler, and all those sort of things. It's an unmined piece of elite lore that has yet, even after 10 years, hasn't really been pushed forward. I mean, the codex entry, when was the last time that was updated? When it was first written, maybe. If you go in here, they put it in. I mean, the Dark Wheel is there, but here is the text, and so I mean, this is the this official line. 3300. A group identifying itself as a Dark Wheel emergence in our traditional system, which is not accessible to parts of lower than elite rank. It's not apparent if the group is a legitimate descendant of the original Dark Wheel, a reconstruction, or merely an opportunic imitator. So, according to the in-game lore, nobody's sure whether the Dark Wheel is the Dark Wheel. I referenced it with Michael Brooks' permission that in Elite Premonition, that actually the Dark Wheel at Shinatra was actually a decoy to keep people away from the real Dark Wheel, right? I don't know if that's ever been implemented in the game either. So there's bits of lore that are less than official and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of weird stuff going. And then Raxler is associated with the Dark Wheel by long tradition, but again, this hasn't been updated either. So yeah, it's tricky. There's a lot of stuff that could have been updated in here. This is a nice thing, but it's not updated. And it's only text. You wouldn't have thought it would take that much for somebody knowledgeable in the lore of Elite Dangerous to provide a whole bunch of content for it. But hey, the offer was made many times long ago, and was never materialised. So there we go. Right. So we now have our ship. Now, what were we doing? Right. So I think the problem. The problem was that I can't switch on half of my stuff at the moment because I haven't got enough power. So I think the plan was to engineer my power system, my power plant. Oh, we've done some. Well, maybe looking at the engineering will tell us what we were actually doing. Because we should have a pin blueprint, shouldn't we? Marco Quent. There we go. Right, so I need to buy some modifications to unlock the next upgrade. Which blueprint was I after? Okay, so overcharged power plant. That's what we were trying to do. More power. That makes sense. So I've got that one. I needed some. I need a whole bunch of. So what's that one? Modifications, sulfur, pin blueprint. Okay, and what power plant have I got? Okay, so I put some beam lasers on front just because I didn't want to go out into space totally unarmed. There's a little bit of mining I can do as well, which we thought might be useful. some point defense turrets just because space is dangerous. But anyway, right. So power plant. I've currently got a 3A power plant that does have some engineering on it. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But I need more power. So what were we actually trying to do? So, oh, dirty drive tuning. Why does that keep? Oh, that's Felicity Fast here. Okay. Oh, so we can have a yeah. Okay, so it was Marco Quint that we were working on, and it. Okay, so we've got 4-pin blueprints. Okay. Right, so presumably in here somewhere we can do remote engineering. There we go. Power plants, right. So that's the one we're trying to do. So what do we need? Okay, we had done level 1. We needed level 2. Okay, we needed some conductive components. And we can only get to grade 4 here. But that might be enough though. So high grade emissions, then get some more manufactured units. Yeah, so I think I need to get some conductive, I'm going to need to get some heat conductive wiring and some conductive components. So, because I've only got one roll of the dice there anyway. So I'm going to just screenshot that because I can never remember these things. Right, so presumably I need to go to a materials trader. So that's going to be an Anara job, isn't it? Right, I am in Rockford, Ezra. Yep, I want a material trader. And the nearest manufactured one is in a place called Timbledaris, which is 17 light years away, so that's not very far. Okay, I'm going to do that. See if I've got, I don't know if I've got any materials I can trade, but we'll find out, right? Right, so I need to go to any high grade emissions should give plenty to trade. Okay, where do I get to high grade emissions? Let's go to Timble. There is what I'm thinking about it. There we are. From signal sources. Okay. So if we see some signal sources along the way, we can do some stuffs. Right. Well, we're off to Timbledaris for the time being. I would need Olympic Elector. Okay. And this ship doesn't even have a... Oh, I've got my undercarriage up as well. I wonder why the boost wasn't. Okay, but Druega, that engineer is only unlocked to grade 2. You should do the engineering in person to unlock more grades. Okay, so I need to go and get some materials first. Okay. Good point. So therefore I'm not going to unlock. I need to go back to wherever Marco Quint was. But in this ship, that should be an easy job because it's got a nice high jump range. Let me go and get enough. Hopefully get enough materials. We'll find out what I need to do to get some materials. If I need to go and do some emissions stuff as well, I'll have to do that. He's in Sirius, is he? Okay, so that's not too far away. You cannot be serious, man. Right, here we are in Timbledaris. Where have we got to go? I need to go to Levi Montalcini Gateway. Montalcini Gateway. That sounds like quite a cool place. Too many things in space now. Where is it? Jeez, that's quite a big system, isn't it? Where's the space station? There. Wow. Super Cruise! What do we do before the SCO drive, right? Almost looks like a plan. Get a collector, limit controller. That does sound almost like a plan. Well, let me just go and visit the materials trade and see if I can get anything for the time being. And then, yeah, so edgalaxy.net HGE. Okay, so that's. I like the way the community always does the. So there are HGEs and Sirius Aminova. Okay, so if I equip myself with a limpet collector here, then maybe that works. I haven't got one on board, have I? I've got a repair limpet controller, but not a generic one. I wonder why I did that. Presumably for survive Atlantis in space. What did we do before the SCO drive? We waited. We do. We did indeed. What'd you done?
Access granted. Proceed to landing pad 05.
Proceeding to landing pad 05. These ones where they're really close to the entrance.
Landing gear deployed.
Right. Okay. Let's refuel. Have a look. See what's around.
Docking confirmed. Securing ship. Good to have you, Commander.
Right. So what do I need? See, so I need to pin these. Right. I need some heat conduction wiring. Very exciting. Heat conduction wiring. No one see any? Oh, there it is. No, that's what I've got. Oh no, I've got that. Okay, no, that's not what I need. I need some, I need some conductive components. Where are they? Conductive. I need some conductive components. There we go. I've got some conductive ceramics. I don't know if they're any use. But I've got a lot of them. I received 3. How many do I need? I usually need about. Let's go for 9. There we go. That should do that one. Well, that gives me level 2. So, what I could do, I suppose, here, if the parts are available, is start doing a collector limpet controller instead of my repair limpet controller. Buy some limpets. And then we can pop across the Sirius and see what gives. What am I doing? Optional it. Right, there we go. Repair limpet controller. Right. Replace module. Hatchbreaker limpets, multi-limpet, prospecting limpets, recon limpets, research limpets, repair limpets. Can I get a multi-limpet controller? Top row. Collect Olympics. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's just go for 1A. Because it's like stupidly cheap anyway. Then we need to buy some limpets. Which are... There we are.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Since the materials don't have any space, do they? Okay, so that's good. Right, now we can go across to Marco Quento, which is in the Sirius system. And stop calling me Shirley. Shouldn't be that far away, because we've been bouncing around down here, haven't we? One jump. Nice. That's why we like long jump ranges. Andy Pipkins here, 07 Commander. Sorry late as always. I know. It took me a week in my Cobalt Mark 3 with 26 year light to get... Yeah, I know. Those are the good old days, weren't they, Stevens? Well, back then, 30 plus light years was a decent wedge of jumping, wasn't it? I remember when we started getting past 50 light years, thinking, oh, it's not going to get bigger than that, is it? Oops. Not that very badly wrong. Still getting it badly wrong. Ow, dunk. That's what shields are for. Right. That was a nice bit of flying there. Not. So what's my jump range at the moment? It is. No. Where is it? Where's the jump range?
All clear. You're
It
clear
used to be on that.
own navigation.
Oh, it's on that screen, isn't it? There we go. 70, there we go, look, 74 light years, see? I've got a decent jump range. First time chat from Tholothian, indeed. What kind of silly haha have I joined in the middle of? How do we describe this stream in just a few words? Middle-aged guy seeks knowledge about computer game he's been playing for 10 years. Because I've probably forgotten more than I ever knew about this game. That's my problem. It doesn't stay in your head anymore. The Dog Star, right. No engineering, so 30 light years was the maximum in ASP. Yeah, that's true. Maybe Rexler were the friends we made along the way. It's quite possible. Well, I kind of hope that they do eventually grasp the nettle of Rexler. But I really do, because where am I? Is that? There, current research base. There we go. That's where we need to go to. Yeah, it's the mystery, isn't it? It's the mystery in the whole of the Elite fandom, and the most lore-y thing that there could possibly be, and yet the least information about it. I've done 2 videos on Raxter in the past, and you know, various small, tiny little bits of information have been dropped over the years, but nothing concrete, nothing for us to breadcrumb. There's a massive forum thread on the Frontier thing, which occasionally gets rejuvenated in the search for Raxter, and there's fantastic, crazy ideas in it. I do think that Frontier maybe have locked off part of the galaxy to kind of undo that. But the problem is that, you know, for something that's going to fit in with the lore, it's going to have to be very, very carefully crafted, because there's lots of things that Raxler has to do to fit in with the established lore. And after all this time, what could it possibly be that's worth the players getting to? And yeah, what do you do with that? I mean, the first person who discovers Raxler gets what, a decal? Or, you know... Some pink laser beams. I mean, I don't know. What? And how do you make it not be an anticlimax after all this time? It's I'd do it for a decal. I mean, it's got to be a narrative thing. It's got to be a story. It can't just be a decal. That's just way too cheap. Or a jump gate to somewhere else. I think that's a good shout, because it's supposed to be, according to the original Elite Law, it's supposed to be a gateway to riches beyond your imaginations, right? You know, not just here's some credits, here's a decal, and here's a unique ship skin that nobody else has got. Yeah, so I think it's got to be a narrative payoff, plus a gateway to somewhere that we've never been before. So that, you know, somewhere a jump gate to the Magellanic Clouds would be pretty darn cool, wouldn't it? Something like, it's got to be something very, very big and very much beyond the current capabilities of Elite, in the sense of its, you know, things that we can do. So it needs to be a jump gate or something like that. And but you know, we need some narrative run up to that. You know, weird things appearing or strange power sources going off, and you know, things like that, to give us a hook that the Rexler story is happening. And it can't just be a decal, and it can't really just be a planet lost in the void that somebody stumbled across. That never really made a lot of sense to me, because and yet David Braben did tell me to my face, with presumably no hint of a lie, that Raxler was in the game from the get-go, which doesn't really make sense either, does it? Because it can't have been in the game from the get-go, really, unless it was a placeholder or something. So I've had to reinterpret that comment that he gave me all those years ago, because what did he mean? Yeah, so something like a Dyson sphere, or something like astronomically plausible but like insanely vast, or you know, somebody's used the power output of a pulsar or a neutron star to power a hyperspace conduit, or something like that. I don't know. Or is it something more kind of Doctor Who-y? You know, that there's some sort of secret that binds the universe together, of, you know, something timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. I don't know, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I don't know what to make of it, really. I'd love for it to be realised, though, because I think it's time. I mean, hell, what happens if David Braben snuffs it? We still don't know. I hate landing on the dark side of planets. There we go. Slow Me was teleported there just before the ship exploded. It's suspicious the sinister way David Braben says is there, but you don't know what it is. Well, the thing about that is that when we were back in the early days of Elite Dangerous, there was a secret writers forum on the Frontier forums. Now it's long gone when they upgraded the forum software, so all that information that was there has also been lost, which is a bit of a shame. But one of the things that was off limits to us, very specifically, not even the Thargoids were off limits to us. We were allowed to write about the Thargoids. I decided not to, because they were going to be fairly obvious and other people were doing them. But the writers were allowed to write about the Thargoids, but we were not. We were expressly forbidden from writing about Raxler. It was just off the table. You know, that was David Braben, Michael Brooks territory only. You know, Raxler was off limits to us, even though we'd got the writers' packs and permission to do this, that, and the other. The whole Raxler subject was out of bounds. We were not allowed to touch it. I managed to negotiate being able to talk about the Dark Wheel, and then sort of mentioned Raxler in passing, in the sense of people having conversations about it, which does make sense. But we were not allowed to expound on the myth of Raxler. We were not allowed to create a Raxler in any of the books or anything like that. It was forbidden. It's expressly forbidden. Question was asked and the answer was no. And that was it. There was no negotiation of the powers to be. So yeah. So as to what it is and where it is, and there are theories, and some of them are very good theories, but alas, nothing's been substantiated at all, to my knowledge. So weird stuff, really. Why am I here? Oh, yeah, engineering. Could Raxler be a person? Well, the problem is there's too much lore about Raxler which ties it to a locale of some kind. But right, so overcharged power plant. Right, so we should have this one, and we can do some modifications. Here we go. Yeah, we're going to do, looks like 5. Shields offline, shields online, shields offline. It's like MX5 headlamps. Let's go, let's get out, let's go, let's get out. It's meant to be the spark that leads to adventures, as like Atlantis and El Dorado. I think that's probably what it is, but it deserves more. To my way of thinking. Right, okay, I can do a little bit of this. Conductive components is the next one, and selenium. Well, frustratingly, I'm going to be able to do about 3/4 of this. I need another conductive component. I should have bought another one. But now I've run out. Ah dear. And for the next one, we're going to need some different stuff. Oddly enough, oh hang on, I've got. Okay, hang on a minute. What happens here then if I jump a modification? Because I can't finish this one because I haven't got any conductive components. But what happens if I jump to 4? Does it matter? Does it automatically complete that one? You don't need to finish the level to start the next one. Okay. So I might as well just go for it then. Shields online, shields offline. So all I'm going to need is a single heat dispersion plate, and then I've maxed out what I can do. Okay, so let me take a screen grab of that. I need a heat dispersion plate, whatever one of those is. So I might be able to find one of those anyway. Okay, so experimental plate. What does this do? Add the experimental. Okay, so what do I monstered? What does that do? Oversized reinforced components. Increased power output at the cost of increased mass. Thermal spread. Additional thermal conduits and radiator solutions integrated across the module help balance thermal load, increasing cooling potential. So do I want the thermal one? Well, power... Well, actually, I suppose the question is now, do I have enough power? I haven't quite completed 4 yet, have I? But how are we doing power-wise? Let's have a look at... Does it tell me? Because I was having problems switching everything on, wasn't I? Because I switched a whole bunch of stuff off. So at the moment my usage is 82%. I switch on my abrasion blaster. And I switch on my mining laser. And also field maintenance units I usually keep switched off anyway. So according to that, I've now got enough. I have got enough power to do what I wanted. So that's quite good. If it's overcharged, do the thermal spread. So I think the thermal spread, because I'm now at 94% power, that's okay. Because I think I should Where's it gone? Oh, that's the distributor. Sorry, wrong one. Power plant, it's not that one. So the experimental, that sounds like I should go for the thermal one to stop it overloading itself. Let's do that.
Shields offline. Shields online.
Shields offline? Shields online. Right. So all I need is one heat dispersion plate, and then I've actually finished this particular one. So let's go for the distributors. So what do I need to do on the distributor? So, okay, so the power distributor, this is moving the power around in the system. So what should I go for here? So I've got charge enhanced power distributor, engine focused power distributor, system focused power distributor, or weapon focused power distributor, or shield focused power distributor. Does any of those make sense? Charged. Which one? Charge enhanced. Oh, for which one? Power. Oh, charge enhanced power distributor. Okay, that one. This blueprint impacts overall power capacity while providing a faster overall charge rate. Superconduits is useful as well. Which one's the superconduits? So charge enhanced does make sense. Specialized legacy firmware. Oh no, says Top Shot. Which one am I going for? That one? Superconduits is the experimental effect. Okay, well I can't do that at the moment. So, charge with superconduit. Charge enhanced. Right, I'm going to go for that one. Well, that one's okay. So weapons capacity goes down, engine capacity goes down. Is that what I really want? This will improve the overall performance of a module. Have it. Okay. Okay, well, we'll do it anyway. Boom. That's done. That was easy. I've only got one chemical I never have chemical processors. Have you noticed this? Okay, capacity down, recharge speed up. Okay, that sort of makes sense. Okay, so I'm out of chemical processors. I need at least one more chemical processor. So hang on a minute. So I need, what was the other thing? So this is just drives me potty, all this stuff. I know you can keep tabs on Anara and stuff, but I'm not that organised. Hang on a minute, right? I need to finish all this. I need a heat dispersion plate, whatever one of those is. I need chemical processor, and I need whatever's in here. Probably some chemical distilleries. Probably at least 5 of them. Looking at that. Possibly even 6. Maybe a grid resistor. Because I've only got 5. So I reckon it might take 6 things to do that. I don't know. I can't do the experimental stuff yet because I haven't unlocked it, have I? Oh no, I can. Oh, I can do the experimental effect. Except I haven't got a proprietary composite. Oh, I can do flow control or cluster capacitors. Which one do I want? Superconduits, you said, didn't you? Okay, so I need a security firmware patch, apparently. A security firmware patch. Well, I can download this from Microsoft, can't I? Oh, now I've got a shopping list. Security firmware. Right. Okay. Exciting. Oh, do I need to pin this blueprint, or already got it? Okay, we'll keep that one. Get proto heat rads and trade down. Okay, what probably saying says, what brought you fully back to the game? Well, I mean, about 18 months ago, we kind of had a bit of a meeting online, didn't we, about the state of the game and the state of Frontier, actually, I think it was at the time. And we decided it was all a bit sad and all a bit dingy, and we thought, well, what can we do as the community to kind of re-energize things? And we did a few things, and actually we came up with some quite good ideas. And then not long after, Frontier suddenly decided that they would put a whole bunch of effort back into the game. Now I don't claim that we had a big impact on that, but it did happen around about the same time. So once they started putting a bit of impact back into the game, we thought, well, we'll keep playing, and so we did. Drew brought it back single-handedly. So I don't know. I don't know if we had a big impact on it, but we certainly mentioned it before anything changed, and then things changed for the better. So we thought it's only fair to keep playing the game. Okay, so I've got my shopping list. I need a heat dispersion plate, a chemical processor, chemical distillery, a grid resistor. Now they all sound like materials to me. Security firmware patch is presumably some sort of encoded thingamajig. But we need to get to a bar, so yeah, that's fair enough. Presumably there's not a bar here, is there? So is there a space station nearby? So I've got a shopping list for another time. I think that's. I've done quite well tonight. I think we'll fly off. Let's go to a space station somewhere near here. I want the galaxy map. Maybe user interface expose system map. That's what I want. There is a space station. We could go to. Actually, let's go to. Has everyone got a small ship? Some people are flying around anacondas, so that's a bit unfair. Excuse me. Let's go to Patterson's Enterprise then, here in the Sirius system. Because there isn't a bar here at the engineer's place. I did. I got multiple things done in one stream, which is, actually successful. Yeah, excuse me. I don't know why I've got the window open. It's gone dark now. It's really weird. Kind of got used to it not getting dark in Canada, in Scotland. And now it is getting dark in the evenings again. It's really weird. Right, I've got I think I'm right in saying that we've now got everything switched on. So I have actually solved my engine power problem. Look, yeah, so I can't switch on my auto field maintenance units, but I don't normally have them switched on anyway, so I'm not suffering there. So I've got everything now. Everything is now switched on. I'll try and deploy my weapons in a minute in that range of the thing. Let's just deploy the weapons. I've not got my weapons in my pocket.
Disengaging automated flight control routine. Safe travels, Commander.
No, I haven't. Nope. There we go. Let's put the ablation blast on 2 in mode. Let's just deploy our weapons. So, have we actually got a fully operational ship now? What a feeling we have. Yeah, look, usage is only 94%, so I technically don't need to do any more engineering because I've got it enough. My weapons work. I mean, they would be, pointless, but my abrasion blaster works as well. Look. That's my ship is actually operative, which is good. So we've achieved a thing. Yeah. I don't actually need to do any more engineering, but I might as well just do it for completeness and tidiness.
Cannot comply. Frameshift drive charging.
Let's go to the space station though. Patterson Enterprise, part of the Sirius Corporation.
3, 2, 1, engage.
So I've got a ship now that's got some weapons on board. Not much in the way of weapons, obviously, but can just at least put up a little bit of a fight should the need to arise. I could probably squeak a little bit more shielding, couldn't I? What have I got shielding wise? A 3D shield. I mean, that's really just there for bumps and bruises, isn't it? I'm running my frameshift drive booster now, which is good. I know, serious, it's bad, but that's where we are. So that's where we've got to go. There's a planet there. It's a cooldown cycle. I could engineer the hull. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Who do I? Okay, David Pittman. Who do we need to engineer the hull with? And have I got the right engineer? Last one to the bar buys some glue. Why did it reduce my speed so much? I think so. Wintermute just did a loop of shame there. Looking at that, Celine Jean. I'll check whether I've got her when we dock. Yes, because I suppose I've always had my engineering focus has always been on jump range and things. I've never had to do some of the other engineers, and so I never had a ship where I had power deficiencies. Because I don't think the Crate Phantom, I think it had quite good energy sense anyway. But given that we're trying to optimize the Mandalay for maximum jump range, and still taking on a few little goodies around for the ride. But to me, it doesn't feel bad. Did you shoot me in the combat though? Okay, so Celine Jean is one of the mining engineers. Okay, I don't think I've unlocked her yet. I'll check in a minute whether she's even showed up on my list. So I didn't realise you could engineer the hull actually. Oh, Paynite mining will be needed to unlock hull mods. Oh, that's not fun. Onion Head is the path to Raxley. It could be. That might be the only way to get there. Snitches get stitches. I haven't heard that since I was at school. Excellent. Alright, everyone to the bar then. Oh, the lady at Sirius is from up north. Is that a Yorkshire accent in the Sirius space station? Oh, the reason your shields collapsed in the Hasbros was my fault. Okay, upgrade your stock armor to heavy. That's the Lancashire accent, is it? I knew it was that sort of general direction. Although Lancashire and Yorkshire, of course, don't dare get them confused. I'll be in trouble. Landing pad 11 is down there.
Landing gear deployed.
Right. Let's have a look at the engineers that I've got then. So, so I have got Celine Jean. Okay, so I've got an invitation from her. Okay, well, that's something. Well, I need to provide 10 units of pay night, which is mining, presumably. So, and how do you get that? I've got a mining abrasion blaster. Do I need do I need other things to go mining with? That could be a thing. Okay, well maybe we'll go pay night mining. It's managed to crash his game now. Class. That's what you get for shooting your stream host. You see, it's karma. Commander Rex the Redacted is here. Look. There we go. Excellent. Right, to the bar. It was the club. Club decided to take Wintermute GB out. Right, whoever's in the bar is in the bar. We'll see you there, commanders. So laser mining, is that different to the abrasion blaster? Because the abrasion blaster shoots things off the front, doesn't it? Excellent. I'm so good that they put those emotes into the game. Does help a lot. Right, is anybody else at the bar? It's quite quiet there. We've lost Wintermute GB because he's crashed his game.
Get you, Commander.
Well, I'd like a beer, but just shoot rock for laser and let collectors grab it. Okay, so that's quite good. So Commander Artemis Watt is here. And Commander Rex the Redacted is here, but there's no sign of Wintermute GB. He's managed to bust his game. So there we go. Never mind. There we go. Brilliant stuff. Well, I mean that will. Can you just buy pay night? Probably not. I imagine. Went to disembark, and the screen went black. Commander Alien Hunter is here. Good to see you. Right. Well, thank you very much, my friends. I appreciate all the help. We accomplished a bit there. We did a bit of CG. We did a bit of pew pew. We did a bit of engineering, and we actually got the result. So that's yeah. They didn't die. That's pretty good. Cheers for the stream. Yeah, it's good. And we even discussed a bit of lore and background on Rexlet, so that's all good stuff, isn't it? There we are. Bet salute to Commander Alien Hunter. Right. I suppose we what we normally do at this point is we find ourselves a streamer. Who doesn't have, who's streaming Elite Dangerous, who doesn't have much in the way of followers or viewers, shall we say? So if you can, oh, and thank you very much to the birthday wishes. Yeah, it will be my lots of years birthday next week, so I won't be streaming next week. I'm on holiday. Yeah, find me an Elite Dangerous streamer on Twitch who's streaming Elite Dangerous but doesn't have any followers. We usually go and raid them. And give them a bit of a heart attack by dumping lots of players into them. Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Very much appreciated. That's really, really good. So yeah, it's going to be another year to add to the collection of years. They all get a bit shorter, these things. Commander Dax has been honoured to finally see a live stream and not a playback. Oh, well, that's nice that you were able to pop along, and probably Sane as well, I think, and Rekel Incorporated. Good to see you on the stream. Thank you very much for it. So anyway, so find me a streamer, my friends. Find me a streamer. Who have we got? Another trip around the sun. How do I actually do that? I should know how to do this. I don't even know how to. How do I browse categories? Admiral Sanddog. That's that Sanddog. That sounds like quite a good one. So let me just type that in.
How did we get here?
There we go. So yeah, so they've got 4 viewers. So I'm going to send you over there. That's quite good. Oh, ignore that one. Okay. Who am I going for? No, ignore Wintermute. Make up your mind, guys. Make up your mind. What am I doing?
Keen Phoenix, Pedro Pascal.
Raid, what is armadillo? Okay, hang on a minute. Has that got an R in it? Because it doesn't. That doesn't work. What is armadillo? Raid Ruega. Yeah, no, I can't get. What is armadillo? Doesn't seem to work. Doesn't seem to recognise the name. Is that a typo? Just yeah, you're. No, hang on. What is?
Since Tal and I have a thing going,
I've got what is armadillo. Right, hang on a minute.
we have a roleplay going on with our commanders.
Let's go over there. Right. He's got 8 viewers, so let's do that. Right, here we go. I'm sending you across. Transfer the power to the raid. Here we go. Take care, my friends. Be good. Enjoy. See you not next week. See you the week after next. And look after yourselves. Have fun. Be good. See you soon.